Hello everybody, welcome. I'm super happy that you have tuned into my live video today. So, when people are still coming in, could you just let me know where you're watching from today so that I know who is joining me. Lovely that you're joining me today. I'm really happy. A quick introduction. My name is Laura and I'm a relationship coach, mainly for intercultural couples. And I'm also a relocation coach. So that means that I'm helping people when they're moving abroad to consciously deal with culture shock. What I'm sharing with you today is applicable to all relationships, but particularly to intercultural relationships, because I feel that those are even more challenging than same culture relationships. But if you're not in an intercultural relationship, please stay tuned. I know that this can also really help your relationship. We are all entrepreneurs and our business is our baby. It's all that we focus on. All our energy goes into it and we desperately want to succeed and push and launch. Believe me, I feel you. Our productivity is key and it's so important at this moment in time. And many people just put all their energy into their business and they forget that actually, your relationship has a massive impact on your productivity in your business. So today I really invite you to kind of see that connection between a healthy and nice supportive relationship and your productivity. Once you're in a draining relationship, it will really not help you to succeed in your business. So if you're with me on that one, give me a big yes in the comments. Give me a big yes in the comments if you agree that a draining relationship will really impact your productivity in your business. And for those that have just joined, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself again. My name is Laura. I'm a relationship coach, mainly for intercultural couples, and I'm also a relocation coach. You can find the link to my Facebook page in the description of this video. So today I would like to share 3 tips with you, 3 really practical tips, how you can improve your relationship and how you can also better understand your partner and their culture. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share 2 wonderful offers with you. So first we're going to go through those 3 really practical tips and then I'm going to move on to the offers. So type 1 if you're ready for the first tip. Type 1 in the comments if you're ready for the first tip. And for those that have just joined, could you please let me know where you're watching from so that I know who has joined us here today? Lovely. So I'd like to share the first tip with you. If you're ready for the first tip, please type a 1 into the comments. So, as a relationship coach, one of the main things that I see with couples is that there are a lot of assumptions being made. We often think that our world and our way of thinking is the same of our partner, but that's actually not true. So my big first tip is make less assumptions and ask more questions. For instance, there are different ways of showing values when you're with a partner from a different culture. They might show privacy in a different way. They might show respect in a different way. What is respectful in one culture is not necessarily respectful in another culture. And even if you're with a partner from the same culture, the families differ when it comes to how you express certain things. Also, hospitality, for instance, it just differs, right? So instead of making those assumptions, it's really important to ask our partner, what does this mean to you? That's really a key question. What does this mean to you? So for instance, you can ask your partner, what does it mean to you to get married, for instance? What does it mean to you to prepare food in a certain way? Or body language, very important, that really differs between different cultures. So I remember I was for 3 months in Tanzania and for a long time I felt, people are really rude, they're not engaging with me. And only then I realized they were engaging with me, I just couldn't read their body language. So they're raising their eyebrows to indicate a yes and I just couldn't read it. So it's super important to ask your partner, what does this body gesture mean to you? What does this expression mean to you? And I'm also married to a man from South India. So for instance, we had a discussion around the golden wedding chain that you wear in South India as a woman to show that you're married. Initially, I just felt, oh my God, this is such a waste of money, you know. Wow, it's so expensive, I'm never going to wear this chain. But, you know, I kept asking, what does it mean for you? What does it symbolize? And, you know, the more I understand, it's such a symbol of commitment. It's a really kind of a thing of pride to show that. The more I felt closer to my partner. So it's really important. That is my first tip. Make less assumptions and ask more questions, because your partner was shaped by different culture, by different parents, by different surroundings. So ask those questions. So I want to ask you now, on a scale from 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, how often do you ask this kind of question to your partner? For instance, what does this mean to you? Or a similar one. So on a scale from 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how often do you ask your partner a question such as, what does this mean to you? For those that have just joined, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself again. My name is Laura. I'm a relationship coach, mainly for intercultural couples, and I'm also a relocation coach. So that means I'm helping people who are moving to a different country to really deal with the culture shock in a really conscious and proactive way. So if you would like to get in contact with me, my Facebook page is in the description of this video. So are you ready for the second tip? If you're ready for the second tip, could you please type a 2 into the comments? Please type a 2 into the comments if you're ready for the second tip. So my second tip is travel to the home country or the city, home city of your partner. I know we have Corona at the moment, so maybe that traveling plan is not feasible. But what you can do is always a virtual travel, right? You could go on Google Maps and go around, look at different buildings, maybe look at the school where your partner went, look at different markets, just have a look around at different photos that other tourists have taken, and really understand what has shaped your partner. What kind of things does, you know, he perceive or she perceives? What kind of symbols are there? How did the buildings look like, and so forth? And even if you have already visited, maybe if you take a little bit of additional discussion time, that's a way to get to know your partner better. So for instance, you could ask, you know, how do men and women relate? If you're looking at Google Maps, that might be a bit tricky, but what you could do additionally to have that virtual travel is to Skype friends and family of your partner, or to look at old family pictures of your partner. So you could ask your partner, and obviously yourself as well, how do men and women relate in my culture or in his or her culture? Because that really shapes your partner's expectations of the relationship, and it will enable you to better understand, you know, what kind of frustrations are there. What does your partner expect from you? Kind of what has, you know, what kind of images are there in the head? Another thing that you could ask your partner during this kind of virtual travel is, you know, what kind of symbols of lack and of wealth are there in that culture? What is like a really important symbol? You will see that, for instance, displayed in pictures. What do people wear to show, you know, that something is really valuable to them? Or if you're Skyping friends and family, you might see something displayed in the background, and you will understand that that is highly valued if that is being displayed in the living room. Another really important thing that you will understand through that virtual travel is when you Skype friends of your partner, for instance, you will see how is the pitch and volume when they're talking. Because what I often realize in couple coachings is that one partner comes from the more reserved and calmer culture and the more indirect culture, while the other partner comes from the more passionate and direct culture. So I'm just remembering, you know, I have spent a lot of time in Chile. I have studied there at university. I worked in an NGO, and I realized like how passionate people are, how big are their gestures. And if you can't contextualize that, you might easily feel attacked by your partner, although it was not meant in any aggressive way. It's just a cultural form to express him or herself. So it's really important to kind of understand this context a little bit more. So really kind of in that virtual travel, use that to have those open discussions. Maybe it sparks new topics that you have never openly addressed. Because I can tell you one thing from experience, we all hold so many assumptions, and we all think that our partner has the same views, the same value, and the same assumptions. So that's why we never openly talk about it. But actually having those open discussions, such as, how do women and men relate in your culture? What are the symbols used in your culture that can make a huge, huge difference? Okay, and I would like to move on to the third tip. So if you're ready for the third tip, can you please type ready for the third tip? So ready, can you please type ready in the comments? Please type ready in the comments if you're ready for the third tip. So then I would like to move to the last tip today. And as I said at the beginning, today I'm sharing 3 tips with you and 2 wonderful offers. Okay. So the third tip is that you can consume a lot of media, TV shows and music from the culture of your partner. And especially in Corona times, this is a massively good thing to do because many of us are staying at home at the moment, right? So this is a time to really watch a lot of movies, to really spend some time listening to some songs from the culture of your partner. But even if you come from the same culture, you might not have been shaped in the same way. So ask your partner, what are your favorite movies? What kind of things have you looked at during childhood that has really kind of put certain images in your head? I know you're all busy, but I do want to encourage you again. Maybe you have just tuned in right now. You might feel like, oh my God, you know what? I'm so busy with my business. All my energies goes into my business. I don't have time now to work on my relationship. But I want to emphasize again, all of the areas of our life are interconnected, right? Once you're in a relationship that is really draining, where there are a million misunderstandings, it will really also drain your productivity. You might be working on the business project, but in the back of your mind, you might feel like, oh my God, what's happening with my spouse? Are we even still compatible? She doesn't even get my idea. He doesn't even care. And it really decreases your productivity. So I'm really encouraging you, take that time to invest in your couple relationship because it will also impact the productivity in your business. If you feel that really good support, that nice dynamic with your partner, that will be such a strong pillar for your business. Okay, I sidetracked a little bit. Let me come back to the third tip. So like I was saying, the third tip is to consume media from the culture of your partner, or maybe, even if you come from the same culture, favorite movie or television show from childhood. And while you watch those, you can pause in between and just ask open questions to your partner. So one of the questions you could ask, for instance, is, how is the ideal love story portrayed in movies? And I learned so much about my husband from India by watching movies, because I understood, what does he feel? How is love, Because in Tamil movies, there's a lot of teasing going on. There's a lot of playfulness going on between the couples. It's not so cheesy romantic. It's more like kind of bickering and playing around. And then I understood why my husband is teasing me so much. So it's a cultural difference, and it's really important to understand that. Another thing is as well, if you're watching movies or if you're watching television shows, you will understand much better what are the rules around clothing, around modesty, how much, public display of affection is okay in your partner's culture. Because, for instance, I lived with my partner for some time in Dubai at the beginning of our relationship. And that was quite a different experience, because obviously there is a very modest and traditional surrounding around us, and my husband had lived there for close to 10 years. So he had really also kind of internalized this culture of not kissing publicly and so forth. And initially I always felt a bit rejected. So once I understood, no, he's conforming to the surrounding culture, this has nothing to do with our love and our connection, I much better understood what is going on. So in movies, it's a really good thing to see, do people passionately kiss each other and constantly touch each other? Or is it more just, intense eye contact? So that will be a really, really good clue for you to better understand your partner and their culture. And also you will understand when you consume media how couples are arguing. Because in some cultures you go full on, you might scream, you're super passionate. In other cultures it's much more subtle and indirect, right? And when you see what has shaped your partner growing up, you also understand why he or she acts in a certain way, throughout your relationship and your arguments. So I know that all those tips that I'm giving today are super practical, and all of them are really doable now during Corona times as well. So I really want to encourage you to invest in your relationship. So I would like to give you a small summary. Like I said, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you 2 wonderful offers as well, okay? So just to summarize for those that maybe have tuned in a little bit later, as I said, my name is Laura. I'm a relationship coach, mainly for intercultural couples, and I'm also a relocation coach. So that means I'm helping people who are moving abroad consciously deal with that culture shock. You find a lot more information about me in the description of this video, because it says, my Facebook page. And you can also go onto my website, that is reconnecting-u.com. So my website is reconnecting-u.com. So I just want to quickly summarize the tips that I have been giving to you today, and then I'm going to move on to the offers that I want to share with you today. So like I said already, our productivity is so tightly linked to how well our couple relationship is going. And even though you might feel, gosh, I don't have time for this, let me just focus on your business. I promise you, if you just take a little bit more time to bond with your partner, you will feel so much better. You will feel more supported. You will feel more like a team. And you need that support system because it can be tough out there. It's not easy to have a business. So it's really important that home is not additionally draining you. So I'm giving these tips to you to help you to work on your relationship in a moment where things are calm. Because many people try to solve something in the moment where it's already heated and where a lot of arguments are going on. And that's really difficult. I always like to do a little bit of prevention work, right? So when you do those exercises in a calm moment, that helps you to have a better flow in a stressful moment. Because let's be honest, if you have the stressful moment and you just want to get it going and get it done, that's not the moment where you want to explain all your cultural assumptions to your partner. Because you don't have time, you don't have patience, you're already on edge. So try to invest in your relationship in the calm moments and create that bonding, create that mutual understanding, so that when you do come to that stressful moment, it flows much more easily because your partner has already understood. They already know what you associate with this term. They already know what you're referring to because they remember what you have shared with them in a different moment. So just a quick summary before I'm giving you 2 wonderful offers today. So the first tip was, don't make assumptions, ask questions. And that is really my number 1 tip for any relationship. It doesn't have to be intercultural. Don't make so many assumptions. Ask your partner, what does this mean to you? What does this item mean to you? What does this gesture mean to you? How do you live in your culture certain values, how they're being shown? So don't make assumptions. Your partner is deeply in love with you potentially, but that doesn't mean that he or she has the exact same things in their head. So openly communicate. The second tip being, travel to your partner's home country or home city in a virtual way, using Google Maps, using old family pictures, Skyping family or friends. So try to immerse yourself as much as possible into your partner's culture and understand the symbols, understand the relationships, understand what people value in that culture. And the third tip is, consume media from your partner's culture, or if you come from the same culture, then, you know, just things that he or she has watched during their childhood. So really understand what kind of images are there in your partner's head, what kind of role models are there, what does he or she thinks how love should be done, what kind of gestures of affection are there. So those are my 3 tips today, and I would love to stay in touch with you before I'm giving you 2 wonderful offers. So you do find my Facebook page in the description of the video, and you can also check out my my website, that is reconnecting-you.com, reconnecting-you.com. So the first offer I would like to extend to you today is that until the end of July, so this is a summer offer, only valid until the end of July, I'm giving 15% off all my coaching and mediation packages. 15% off all my coaching and mediation packages. So that involves couple coaching, relocation coaching, and also family mediation. So I'm giving 15% off until the end of July. And you can find all the offers on my website, reconnecting-you.com. I do have to admit I had some technical issues, so I had to go live on my phone, so I'm unable to paste the link into the description right now, but I'm definitely going to do that straight after this video. So my website is reconnecting-you.com. There you find all the different packages that I'm offering, and until the end of July, it's 15% off all those packages. And the other second wonderful offer that I want to share with you today, and I'm so happy that you're still here tuned in. I really appreciate your time. I know we are all busy, so I want to give you a really special offer as well. The second one being that on the 8th of August, I'm offering a connection and communication workshop for intercultural couples, a connection workshop specifically for intercultural couples, okay? So it's all about understanding your own cultural values, your assumptions, and also better understanding your partner's culture, obviously. And in that way, you can avoid a lot of draining misunderstandings. It's going to be an online workshop, so obviously it's accessible from all over the world. And also for that, I'm giving you a 15% discount when you use the promotion code WHW, so obviously for this lovely group that we are all member of. So the promotion code is WHW, and I'm going to post the link to this workshop into the comments in a moment. I'm really sorry for that. I did have some technical issues, so I had to go live from my phone. That was not planned at all. So bear with me. Immediately when I finish this video, I'm also going to copy the link to this lovely workshop into the comments. But you can also find the workshop on my Facebook page under the section events, and the Facebook page is in the description of this video. So it's a connection workshop on the 8th of August for intercultural couples. And I'm giving you a 15% discount with the promo code. So on Eventbrite, you just click discount code with the promo code WHW, Women Helping Women, that's the abbreviation. Thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciated that you joined me today. Please get in touch. I know it's not easy to get any help for your relationship, so we can schedule a super informal discovery call. There's no pressure whatsoever. And I will always guide you with a lot of sweetness and empathy. I would love to hear from you. Please visit my Facebook page for more information, or go to my website, that is reconnecting-you.com. Have a lovely day. All the very best. I will paste the comments into, I'll paste the links into the comments in a second. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.